Alright, this is going to be the tutorial with how to manipulate your images in Photoshop to basically, we're going to create a superhero like scenery. Alright, so to begin the process, you want to go to Google Classroom, and under this, the classwork assignment, practice manipulating photos on Photoshop, you want to click on the backgrounds.zip, and then you're going to download it. So when you click on download, it's going to ask you to are you sure you want to download it, and you want to make sure to download the image. Alright, I already downloaded it, so I'm not going to download it again, but then you want to download your backgrounds and the superhero clips. And the same thing too, when you click on it, it's going to give you like a message. Well, I think this one automatically downloads it for you. So you want to download these two files because you're going to have like a large folder of photos that you can use for this project. Alright, and again, this is just practice, so don't feel bad if it's not going to look the way that you expected. This is going to be practice. So you're going to have these zip files that are going to be created, but basically all you're going to do is just double click the zip file, and it's going to create a a new folder for you. I'm going to delete these because you don't. After you have your zip files, you can delete them. You don't need them anymore. But you're going to click on your backgrounds. I'm going to go back here, backgrounds, and your superhero clips. I want you to open up both at the same time, but you can open up your backgrounds, highlight all your images. So click and drag, make a box, double click it, and all your backgrounds should be chosen here. So you can actually grab these images from that preview window, and then your superhero is the same thing here. If you want to clean this up, you can right click on your the window. Of course, my computer decides to lag at the worst possible moment, and you can click clean up, and it's going to just fix everything for you. But you're just going to click and drag, click on those images, and you just want to take a look at all of those images that you have to use for your practice photo manipulations. Alright, now I picked out a bunch of superhero clips. There's from Wide Variety, Deadpool, Batman, Superman, the Avengers, and Spider-Man. Alright, so I want you to use these images to create your own image. Alright, but this is gonna be a practice again. When we actually do your own movie posters, I'm gonna let you guys decide on what movies you want to do, and you're gonna find your own images. But just for now, though, save you on the side of looking images. I have them provided for you. So, first thing you want to do is I would just look at the backgrounds images. And just think about ways you can incorporate that background with your image. So you have some cityscapes, you have some deserts, you have some jungles. So I try to find a variety of different things that you can do. I'm going to use a cityscape out of the beach because I think that's pretty interesting. So first thing you're going to do is you just want to find a background. You're going to click and drag the background onto your Photoshop. So that's going to be the first image that's going to pop up. And remember, Command plus is going to zoom in, Command minus is going to zoom out. So these images that I've hand chosen for you, they are very high-res images. So if your computer is slow down a little bit, it's because the images are very large. And typically, when you do photo manipulations like this, you always want to find the high-res images. The images that are a bigger file. All right, so you gotta look. Click on your image, and then you want to find an image you want to use, for your first one. So I'm just gonna look through these, but you want to think about how you can put these pictures though, within the actual background. So I might actually go with this Batman picture. So I'm just gonna click and drag this Batman to the Photoshop. Alright, when you click and drag it onto Photoshop, it's going to open in two separate windows. One window is going to be my file names are large, but one window is going to be the cityscape, and then the other one's going to be the picture of the Batman. So this file name is large, that's why it's taking up the whole thing. So But I'm going to click on the image with the Batman and the Superman, and I'm using this tool here. This is called the rectangle marquee tool. You're going to click and drag and highlight the parts that you need. So I don't really want to use Superman in this picture. I just want to use Batman in the picture. So you want to use the marquee tool, highlight him, and you want to hit Command X on the keyboard. Command X is in Xerox or X-Men. And Command X is going to cut the image out. And then you want to click on your other image. And you want to hit Command V as in Valentine. And that's going to paste your image. Now, as you see here, the image is very, very large. Okay, it's way bigger than my Seascape that I had. So in order to resize your image, you're going to hit, I'm going to zoom out a little bit because it's really big. But you're going to hit Command T as in turtle. And that's going to give you the transform window. And when you resize your image, click on the one of the corners. Click and drag on one of the corners. You want to hold the Shift key. So when you hold the Shift key, it's going to make sure it's the right size. If you try to click and drag it, it's going to warp or distort your image, which you don't want it to happen. So you want to hold the Shift as you're resizing. So I'm just going to I think a good place to put Batman's on the bottom left corner. Alright, because just keep in mind of the images that you cut out. Like I don't have too much of his back in the picture, and his bottom part is cut off, so I had to put him in the bottom left hand corner of the image. So I'm gonna put him down here, and once I'm happy with the way it looks, you can either hit this check mark or double click on the image to resize, to finalize the sizing. Alright, and then now you have your image in the picture. Now the next part we gotta do is we gotta erase the background of the image. Alright, now in order to erase the background, we're gonna use the direct selection tool. It's the one with the brush, and it's got these dotted lines. Alright, now we use this tool on the we did like one practice assignment on like this photo manipulation, so it's kind of like the same thing like we did before. You're gonna make sure it's on the plus, and remember, you can always resize your brushes with the brackets or up here. Alright, and you just want to highlight those areas that you want to keep in the picture. So I'm actually going to zoom in a little bit more so I can see this a little bit better. And you want to use the hand tool. This hand tool right here is going to allow you to just click and drag and move the your image. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to highlight those areas that I need. And you really want to take your time with this part because the more time you spend with the cutting out part, the easier it's going to be when, or the better it'll look. Now, some of your images are going to be very